The ongoing strain within the Beckham family has reached a new level of public scrutiny, with Brooklyn Beckham reportedly aligning himself firmly with his wife, Nicola Peltz, in a way that has intensified the rift with his parents, David and Victoria Beckham. Sources close to the situation describe a dynamic where Nicola appears to hold significant influence over Brooklyn's decisions, particularly in how he navigates his relationship with his famous parents. This shift has not gone unnoticed, as it marks a departure from the once close family unit that the Beckhams have long projected to the world. The tensions reportedly stem from events following Brooklyn and Nicola's wedding in 2022. After the ceremony, the young couple relocated to the United States, a move that symbolized more than just a change of scenery. It represented Brooklyn's growing integration into the Peltz family circle. Nicola, the daughter of billionaire businessman Nelson Peltz, comes from a wealthy and influential background, and insiders suggest that Brooklyn has increasingly prioritized his life and loyalties within that environment. This has created distance from David, the former football superstar turned global brand icon, and Victoria, the renowned fashion designer whose empire spans clothing, beauty, and lifestyle. One particularly telling development involves social media behavior during the recent holiday season. Brooklyn and Nicola are said to have taken the step of blocking members of the Beckham family on various platforms, a move that goes beyond simple unfollowing and signals a deliberate desire to cut off digital contact. This action has reignited discussions about the state of their relationships, especially since it came at a time when many families traditionally reconnect and celebrate together. The blocking was interpreted by some observers as a pointed statement, one that underscores unresolved grievances rather than allowing them to fade quietly. David and Victoria, for their part, have made repeated efforts to bridge the gap. They have extended multiple invitations to family gatherings and significant events, including the celebration of David's recent knighthood, a prestigious honor recognizing his contributions to sport, charity, and British culture. These invitations were intended as olive branches, opportunities for reconciliation and shared joy in milestones that affect the entire family. Yet, according to reports, these overtures have not resulted in the desired mending of fences. The lack of response or attendance from Brooklyn and Nicola has only highlighted the depth of the divide. Friends of Brooklyn have offered insight into his perspective, emphasizing that his primary motivation appears to be keeping Nicola content and supported. In relationships, especially high-profile ones involving complex family dynamics, partners often make choices to prioritize harmony within their immediate household. For Brooklyn, this seems to translate into siding with Nicola even when it means distancing himself from his parents. One acquaintance expressed concern that the situation has spiraled beyond what might have been intended, describing it as having gone too far. There is an underlying worry that Brooklyn, who has always maintained a public image tied closely to his family's legacy, might one day regret the extent of the separation. Observers have voiced confusion about the rapid escalation in recent weeks. Just when it seemed the drama had begun to subside and public interest had waned, the decision to block family members brought everything back into the spotlight. Questions have arisen about what Nicola might be aiming to achieve through such actions. Some describe the behavior as petulant and short-sighted, a way of prolonging a narrative that could have been allowed to resolve naturally. By extending the conflict rather than letting it dissipate, the couple risks further entrenching the divide and making reconciliation more challenging in the long term. Another perspective from someone familiar with the family dynamics reinforces the sense that Brooklyn's actions are driven by a deep desire to support his wife. However, this same source admits difficulty imagining a permanent scenario where Brooklyn chooses not to reconnect with his parents at all. The Beckhams have always presented a united front, with David and Victoria emphasizing family values in interviews, social media posts, and public appearances. Their 4 children, Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz, and Harper, grew up in the limelight, with family moments often shared as part of their brand. To see one son step away so decisively challenges that carefully curated image and raises broader questions about how fame, wealth, and in-law relationships intersect in modern celebrity families. The Peltz family's influence cannot be understated in this context. Nelson Peltz is a prominent figure in finance and business, with substantial resources and connections that provide a different kind of support network for Brooklyn and Nicola. Living in the U.S., away from the UK-centric world of the Beckhams, has allowed the couple to build their own identity, separate from the expectations tied to David's sporting legacy and Victoria's fashion dominance. Brooklyn has pursued various ventures from photography to cooking and now more entrepreneurial pursuits, often alongside Nicola, who has her own acting and producing ambitions. This independence may feel empowering to the couple but has evidently come at the cost of closeness with Brooklyn's side of the family.